I don't even know how to pronounce this. Epipremnum. I totally butchered that. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna go ahead and start the Pothos project right here.
Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign.
I actually found this plant at IKEA. It was only $9, and I was gonna wait until I go to Home Depot to pick it up, but I mean, I don't really need a nice pot or anything. I just needed some nice pothos, and that's pretty much what it was. The pot's just like a regular cheap plastic pot. The one that they usually sell at Home Depot have like a really nice pot where you can hang it off of like trees or your ceiling and stuff. I think they charge a little bit extra for that, but in our application, we're gonna break it down, put it in a tank anyway, so we don't really need that. And pothos is just pothos, so I'm not really worried about it. Alright, so let me go ahead and break down what this actually is. So this is pothos, I think aka golden pothos. This is a house plant that you can get at Home Depot, Lowe's, or any kind of place that sells plants. It's pretty popular and it's very easy to grow. And the reason why we bought this plant is because a lot of people put this in their fish tanks. I, for example, had a lot of this in my older setup. I had a 20-gallon long, which was used as a sump for my 55-gallon, and I had a whole bunch of this growing out of like this breeder box that I was using to house the roots, and it grew crazily. It helped me a lot with my water quality and stuff. It was just really nice. I don't know why I tore it down. I think I tore it down because it was collecting a lot of bugs in that area, and I didn't have like a pest bug control plan, so that's why I went ahead and took that project down. I want to start that project up again because it was really cool looking. I saw a lot of benefits with it, and it'll be nice to have a little piece of nature on your tank to kind of help you with the water quality. And this stuff is pretty cheap, so it's pretty easy to implement it into your aquarium. So all we really have to do is break this down. It's in a pot right now and we can't really use it like that. We have to break all this soil off and get all these individual plants separated, and that way they'll be ready to plant in your tank. I'll go ahead and show you guys how I do that right now. Alright, here we are. So they're pretty much washed out. So all I did was just kind of break the dirt off and just kind of rinsed everything off. There's a little bit left, like a little bit of dirt here left, but I'll go ahead and shake it off before I put it in my tank. And that's pretty much it. All you want to do is separate the dirt from the plant so it won't mess up your water, and you're good to go. Even these little plants right here, you can use them for your tank. I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Probably going to be one of the easiest filtration systems you can set up for your tank, all laid out right here. So I'll go ahead and start off with the smaller piece. What I do with these is it's kind of hard to put it on your tank, especially because the roots are kind of short. So all I do is this, and then that way I'll go ahead and just let it grow right here, and then when it's ready I'll move it to wherever I need to move it. Alright, so I have my jug of water right here, and all I'm really going to do is just re-rinse it one more time, and all clean, good to go. Maybe a little bit more on the roots. You don't have to be too gentle with it. I mean, pothos is pretty hardy. You don't want to be squeezing it too crazily, but I mean, a little shakes here and there is not bad. All right, so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and take off this cover. I use this cover for evaporation purposes, but we'll be all right. For your guys' tank, it might be a lot easier because you don't have egg crate blocking it off, but for my tank, I have egg crate because I'm afraid my Bichirs are gonna jump. So that's why it's a little bit more complicated for my tank. Cool. Went ahead, cut a little piece off, toss that somewhere. Let's go ahead and put this in. Roots first. Go, just you know what? Just like that. Good. As long as the roots are touching the water and about an inch into the water, should be good to go. Let's see. As you can see, It's in the water and it's touching. Let me go ahead and line up the rest of this with Pothos. Alright, so that's pretty much it. We went ahead and put 3 plants here. It's almost full. I would say it's actually at capacity. It was pretty hard to get all these plants in the egg crate and touch the water, but I got all of them to do so. And yeah, they're looking pretty good. I can't put any more here because yeah, when this grows out, it's going to be really crowded. Might be a little bit too much Pothos on this side, but we'll see how it goes. I have a lot of confidence on this side though. Look at this. Look at all that sun hitting that leaf right there especially. But the good thing about Pothos is they're low light plants, so you don't really have to worry too much. Even me having this is beneficial for them. But over here, it's just exploding, like crazily exploding. I can't wait for this to touch the water. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to adding Pothos in your aquarium. You can do it like this on a hang-on back filter. You can add it to the top of your tank. Just find a way to kind of secure them and they should be good to go. And for me, I have the egg crate, so it has its difficulties, but also has its perks as well. And that's how you pretty much add Pothos to your tank. The good thing about the roots taking over the mid or top portion of the tank is with these Bichirs right here, they don't really even go up. So I mean, they go up for air and stuff, but they're not like swimming in the middle or the top like an arowana would. So even if these roots do grow out crazily up top and in the middle, it wouldn't really bother these guys that much. If anything, it'll provide them more cover and they'll be more comfortable. So that's a good thing. All right, so now that we have everything set up, we're gonna go ahead and turn the camera off right now, and I'll go ahead and give you guys the pros and cons when we get back to the other house. So, all right, now that we're back, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my pros and cons when it comes to adding in Pothos into your aquariums. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the pros. The number 1 pro for me is it'll help reduce your nitrates. It's not going to eliminate water changes, but it'll help keep the water quality steady throughout the week until your next water change. So instead of having your tank build up on nitrates, it'll kind of keep a nice level all the way until your next maintenance day. While we're on the same topic of water quality, having Pothos in your aquarium could help combat algae problems and stuff. If you have algae in your aquarium, little patches here and there that you just don't know why it's there, most likely it's from excess nutrients. Unless your tank is in like a high sunlight area, your Pothos will reduce algae in your aquarium. Another good thing about Pothos is it's a really nice live decoration that you can add onto your tank. Usually the tops of our aquarium, unless you have like a canopy or something, it's kind of bare, right? You just have the lid, the lights, some fish food here and there. But if you have strands of Pothos running in and around your aquarium, it'll look pretty nice. And on top of that, if the Pothos ends up growing in your tank, there you go, you have yourself a live plant that's pretty easy to take care of, grown in your tank, filtering your water, and it can grow outside of your tank. It's just the best of both worlds. Honestly, it's probably one of the cheapest aquarium filters you can get for your tank. I mean, just go and get yourself a small pot for about $3, maybe $4, and just watch it grow and watch it filter your tank. Another good thing about Pothos is it's easily available. It's everywhere. I got mine from IKEA, which is a furniture store. You can get it from Home Depot, like Lowe's, home improvement stores, things like that. Any kind of plant store will have these guys in little pots. They're super cheap, and just go and get yourself some Pothos, man. Put it in your tank, call it a day. Another positivity for Pothos is if you like to keep bettas in like little cups and jars, even though it's not the best environment for them, but if you just have to do it, you can add strands of Pothos into those little jars, and it will help filter your betta's water and provide it a better environment than just putting it in a little cup, because even though it is kind of small in there, it's better than having nothing. Some more good stuff about Pothos. What's good about Pothos? Another good thing about Pothos is you can easily propagate this plant. So if it gets too long, go in and cut the ends off, and then you can either throw it away or replant it into your aquarium, and it'll grow into a new plant. Supposedly it's supposed to be like a air purifier type of plant, like snake plants and stuff. So if you had that in your fish room, will give you better oxygen, something like that. So that's pretty much it. The Pothos will help keep your aquarium water nice and clean. It'll keep your air around you nice and clean, and then it'll provide you a nice natural type of decoration for your aquarium. Now we're here to talk about some of the bad things that I've experienced with Pothos. So my first problem was it had a lot of areas for bugs to cultivate in. I had a lot of spiders kind of gather around in my Pothos plant. I'll go ahead and put a little bit of footage right here, but I had a big group of Pothos plant that was growing on the side of my 20-gallon sump, and that area looked crazy. I had a grow light on it and everything. It was just doing its thing, cleaning my tank, and life was good. And then I went ahead and did a little bit of maintenance on that side of the tank, and I just saw crazy amounts of spiders. Like, I'm talking about babies, nests and stuff, and it was nuts. Actually, it was so nasty that I went ahead and tore that whole thing up. That plant grew from the bottom of the tank all the way to the top where the window was, and then it was a good environment for bugs to grow in, and for me that was kind of nasty. Number 2 is apparently it's toxic to animals. I don't know if it's toxic to fish. I've had silver dollars eat the roots of pothos and nothing really happens to them. Oh, and then I've also had plecos eat like the dying pothos that kind of went into the tank, and nothing happened to them either. So it might just be like dogs and cats, but you want to be aware that if they eat that plant, apparently it's super poisonous to them, and they can probably die. So if you're a pet lover and you have dogs running around your tanks, if you have cats running around your tanks, it's probably not the best idea to have that plant out in the open. Another thing you want to look out for is if your pothos root is growing near like filter pumps or in your hang-on back, you want to make sure that the roots don't go into the impeller. So in a hang-on back filter, it's usually like on the side where the tube goes in the box. You don't want your roots to take that over too much, because if it gets caught in your impeller, it might catch it or something, and it might burn it out and destroy it. Or if you have like a sump, for example, my sump where I had all the K1, I didn't keep the roots in there because first it would tangle up with all of the K1 that's in the tank, and at the same time I don't want it to get caught in the motor itself. Stay tuned for updates on the pothos plant. I'll go ahead and post updates on its growth, and hopefully when it touches the goldfish tank, it'll look pretty sick. I hope you guys get a chance to try pothos out in your aquariums, because it's so cheap, it's available, and it's easy to install in your aquariums. Once that plant touches your water and starts growing, it works. And yeah, there you go, you went ahead and got yourself one of the cheapest aquarium filters for your tank. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next one, and peace, guys.